which was the first largest phylum under animal kingdom. It is Arthropoda, that is the insects, right? So this forms the second largest phylum. Segmentation is found only in annelids and in arthropods, wherein arthropods just have segments in their body, but annelids they exhibit metamerism, which is a form of segmentation. Mollusks have muscular food, but do they facilitate in feeding? No. For example, snail, they have muscular food which helps them in locomotion, not in feeding. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this session on biology for class 11th CBSE. I'm Dr. Divya, biology faculty, Vidhyaashram School of Excellence, Mysuru. So in this session, let us learn about phylum Mollusca under chapter 4, that is animal kingdom. So let's learn the general characteristics of this particular phylum and then move on to learning about some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So phylum Mollusca. So these are the second largest phylum under animal kingdom. And which was the first largest phylum under animal kingdom? It is Arthropoda, that is the insects, right? So this forms the second largest phylum. And they can be terrestrial in habitat or aquatic in habitat, wherein they can be marine, that is living in seas or oceans, or they can also live in fresh water such as ponds, rivers, lakes, etc. So, for example, marine meaning like we have the sea hare. So, this is sea hare, which is a mollusk. So, this can be found in marine environments, and in fresh water, sometimes the freshwater pearls that are there, or oysters. So, they are found in fresh waters. Marine octopus is also an example for marine. And what level of organization they have? They have organ system level of organization, wherein a group of organs come together to perform a particular function, and their cell arrangement is triploblastic, wherein the outer layer of cells forms the ectoderm, the inner layer forms the endoderm, and between the ectoderm and the endoderm there is one more layer of cells that is there, or embryonic layer of cell that is there, which is called as the mesoderm. So therefore it is triploblastic cell arrangement. And do they have a body cavity? Yes, they have a body cavity. Therefore, they are coelomates, wherein coelo meaning body cavity. Next, talking about the structure, they are bilaterally symmetrical. That is, if I draw a line exactly at the center, one half of the organism will look exactly similar to the other half, or it will be a mirror image of the other half. So, therefore, it is bilaterally symmetrical. Next is shell. It is calcareous. So calcareous means they are made up of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. So we all know that the shells of these organisms, that is the oysters and all that, they are very, very hard, right? What is it made up of? It is made up of calcium carbonate. Next, do they have segments? No, they are unsegmented. Segmentation is found only in annelids and in arthropods, wherein arthropods just have segments in their body, but annelids, they exhibit metamerism, which is a form of segmentation. And talking about their body, they have a head. So this is the head part. They have the head, and they have a muscular foot. So this is the muscular foot. So these are the muscular foot which helps them to move, and they have a visceral hump. This visceral hump is one of the characteristic feature of mollusks. So this is the visceral hump. Here tortoise also has a visceral hump. So this is one of the most important peculiar features of these particular organisms, which you don't get to find in other organisms. And what is their shell made up of? So here this is snail. So if you can see the snail, what is its shell made of? Its shell is made up of calcium carbonate. Next, I told you about the visceral hump, right? So between the visceral hump and the mantle is called the mantle cavity. So if you can see here, this is the visceral hump that is there. So or the shell which forms the visceral hump. So in between, if you see your oyster, or if you see the shell of the tortoise, or if you see the the octopus all have a visceral hump. So between the visceral hump or the shell or between the mantle, if you can see, there is one cavity that is there, or a small gap that is there, which is called as the mantle cavity. So here this part you can see the mantle cavity, and in the mantle cavity they have these respiratory organs that are there, which are nothing but the gills. So they respire through gills. So there is a mantle cavity that is between the visceral hump and the mantle. After the mantle you can find a mantle cavity. So the space between the hump and the mantle is called as a mantle cavity, and in that what is there? Feather-like gills are present, and these feather-like gills help them to this portion. Can you see it is feather-like? So it helps them to respire, and they have respiratory and excretory function. So these gills not just they help in the process of respiration, but they also help in the process of excretion or eliminating waste from the body. And the anterior head region has sensory tentacles. So if you see the octopus, can you see the anterior part? Anterior means the below part, that is the anterior part has tentacles, and these tentacles are used by these organisms to capture prey. So they have tentacles, and that is sensory tentacles, which are capable of detecting an organism nearby and then capturing them. And the mouth contains a file-like rasping organ, which is called as radula. So they have in the mouth portion that is there. So this portion, they have a rasping organ. So this part, rasping organ, which is called as the radula. And what is the function of the radula? To grab onto food. So to take in food or to ingest food, or to grab onto food, these radula will help. So this is one of the important point which can come for the MCQ. Next, talking about reproduction, here also they are dioecious, meaning male is separate and female is separate, and they are oviparous, that is they lay the egg. So they are oviparous, and development is indirect, wherein they have a larval stage in between, and then that larva develops into an adult. So that is indirect development. Next, talking about some of the examples. So we have Pila, which is also called as the apple snail. So this is Pila. Then there is pink tada, that is pearl oyster. So this is pink tada, which is also called as pearl oyster. So you can see the formation of pearls here, right, on both sides. So pearls can be freshwater, and marine pearls are also there. So next we have sepia, which is cuttlefish. So we have sepia, then comes loligo, which is squid, loligo. Then we have octopus, that is devilfish. Octopus in the previous images only we have seen that. Then epilacia, that is sea hare. Sea hare in the first slide I have shown you sea hare. Then there is dentalium, which is tusk shell. So this is dentalium. Dentalium. So can you see dentalium? That is, it looks almost like the tusk of an elephant, right? So that is why it is called as tusk shell. And there is one more, chiton, that is Chaetopleura. So this is chiton. Chiton, that is Chaetopleura. So this, don't get confused with this as segmentation. It is not segments. It is just their exoskeleton that is being arranged on them and nothing else. It's not segments on their body. So chiton. So these are some of the examples. There are vast varieties of mollusks. These are few of the examples that are given. So next, let's learn some of the MCQs. So the first one, dash is the second largest phylum in animal kingdom. Is it Annelida? Is it Arthropoda, Mollusca, or Porifera? It is Mollusca. It's not Arthropoda, because Arthropoda is the first. It is the first largest phylum under animal kingdom. So the answer here is Mollusca. Next, molluscans exhibit dash level of organization. So they exhibit organ system level of organization, wherein a group of organs come together to perform a particular function. The shell of molluscans are made of, is it silica? No. Silica deposition is usually seen in diatoms, which comes under kingdom Plantae. So here, is it calcium carbonate? Is it cellulose or chitin? Cellulose, again, it is seen in plants. Chitin, it forms the exoskeleton in the case of arthropods. So therefore, the option here is calcium carbonate, because they have a calcareous shell which is made of calcium carbonate. The soft spongy layer of skin on the visceral hump in mollusks is called, is it radula, tentacles, mantle or metameres? Radula is the mouth part. In the mouth they have some rasping organs called as radula which helps them in feeding. So that is not the option here. Tentacles, it's not tentacles because tentacles are those long arm-like structures that they have for capturing prey, especially in octopuses. So that's not the right answer. Is it metameres? No, because metameres are the segmentation seen in annelids. So that's also not the right answer. It is mantle. So the visceral hump is always covered by a soft tissue and that tissue is called as mantle. It is called mantle. Next, respiratory organ in mollusks are, is it book gills, lungs, book lungs or feathery gills? So is it book gills? No, it's not book gills because book gills, lungs, book lungs, all that are present in the case of arthropods. It is feathery gills. So feathery gills are the right answer here. Feathery gills not just helps these organisms for respiration, but they also help the organisms in the process of excretion as well. So feathery gills is the right answer. Next, dash is a characteristic feature of mollusca. Is it parapodia? Is it tentacles? Is it jointed appendages? Or is it comb plates? So parapodia, no, because parapodia is the appendages that are found in annelids. That is an aquatic annelid, Nereis. Tentacles, yeah, it is a characteristic feature. Jointed appendages, no, because jointed appendages are found in arthropods, that is insects. Is it comb plates? No, because comb plates are found in ctenophores. So ctenophores have 8 rows of comb plates, right? That is the comb jellies that we call. So it's not not comb plates as well. So the right answer here is tentacles. So tentacles is a characteristic feature of mollusca. So now why tentacles? Because mollusca means don't think that it is only the organisms which have shell like the snail or the oysters and all that. Other organisms also come like octopus, they have tentacles, right? So tentacles is the right answer here. Next, mollusks have dash that facilitate feeding. Do they have muscular foot? Mollusks have muscular foot, but do they facilitate in feeding? No. For example, snail, they have muscular foot which helps them in locomotion, not in feeding. Tentacles or a visceral hump or radula. Tentacles don't facilitate feeding. Tentacles help in the capturing of prey, but they don't help in feeding or taking in of food. So that is not the right answer. Visceral hump, they do have a visceral hump, but visceral hump is just a small hump, that is the mantle region wherein it looks like a hump. So that is the visceral hump. It has nothing to do with the feeding. Is it radula? Yes, radula because it is the small rasping organ that is present in the mouth region of these mollusk which actually help in taking in food or in the process of feeding. So the right option here is D. It is radula. Next, pintada are commonly called as squid, pearl oyster, cuttlefish or apple snail. So squid, no, squid is commonly called as, squid is loligo. Is it apple snail? No, apple snail is called as pila. So the right answer here is pearl oyster because pintada is commonly called as pearl oyster. Next, devilfish is the name given to. This is one of the questions that is important. Devilfish is the name given to cuttlefish, sea hare, octopus or squid. It is a name given to octopus. So octopus is also called as devilfish. Next, dash is not a characteristic feature of mollusk. Again here, I've asked not a characteristic feature. Segmentation, bilateral symmetry, they do exhibit bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic in nature and they have a body cavity. So all the three, that is B, C and D, are the characteristic feature of mollusk, which is not segmentation because they don't have segments on their body. Segments are restricted to arthropods and annelids. That too, annelids, metamerism. It is metamerism. So therefore here segmentation is the right answer. So this was about the session. So wherein we learned the general characteristics and also got to know some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So I hope you understood this session well. We shall meet again in the coming session wherein we'll discuss about a new topic and learn the MCQs under that particular topic. So see you in the next session. Thank you.